Hello and welcome to my review of Star Wars Rebels Season 3 episodes 20 and 21, the dual episode season finale for Season 3. But before I get into it, I have to say a spoiler alert, so consider yourselves warned on all things spoilers. And don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this and want to see more videos like this and movie reviews and trailers reactions in the future. With that being said, let's get into it. So, Star Wars Rebels Season 3 season finale. Is it good? Yes, it's really good and it's really fun. I feel like all that we got from Thrawn and the stuff that we got in those Thrawn episodes and the previous episodes before this one very much set up this ending and set it up very well. We see that Thrawn is very smart. We see that he studies their art. We see all the things that make Thrawn who Thrawn is, and now we see him having his plan, formulating his plan, and executing his plan in this season finale. I very much enjoyed that. What I did like is that they started off with Kallus. In the last time we saw Kallus, we see a scene in which Thrawn tells Admiral Yularen, or Colonel Yularen now, Thrawn tells him that Kallus is a traitor. I thought after that Kallus was just going to be thrown in a jail or in one of their prison cells and just, be left for the wolves, if you will. No, I liked that Thrawn allowed Kallus to go to that relay station to try to send that message to the rebels, and I very much enjoyed that he was there. He had the radio jammer or the signal jammer, and he jammed the signal so that he couldn't get away. And I liked that Thrawn was very much one step ahead of pretty much everybody in this episode. I did like that. What I did enjoy was that he had death troopers, and I was like, oh my goodness, he has death troopers. Like, they're not something that are just reserved for Krennic from Rogue One. I was like, yeah, Admiral's got death troopers, and I like death troopers because they look cool and they hit their targets. What I did very much enjoy was that Thrawn knew what the rebels were gonna do. He was like, when he's talking to Tarkin, man, that was so cool. And Tarkin's like, yeah, do what you gotta do. It's like Thrawn knows that Tarkin is above him as far as rank and as far as who can give the orders here, but it's awesome to know that Tarkin has the intellect to know that Thrawn is very good at his job. One thing that I caught was the whole gravity well ships. Now, I've read some of the Legends books, and one thing that seems very familiar to me is the mention of gravity wells in those books. And I think that it is a Legends book, and the fact that it pulled that ship back out of hyperspace, I was like, man, that is awesome. I was half expecting for them to do the Rogue One thing where you have the big Star Destroyer coming out of hyperspace, and then one of the ships to just crash into it and just splinter off. I was half expecting that, but I do think that the whole pulling that ship out of hyperspace is very awesome. I did enjoy those gravity well ships. They were very cool. Now the stuff with Mandalore where Ezra breaks through the blockade and goes to Mandalore, it was very short but still really cool, and it was very believable. It was like, yeah, if you read any of the Legends books that have to do with Mandalore and the Mando Wars and things like that, you will find out that there are different clans of Mandalorians, and they don't really like each other. They all tend to be fighting a lot. And I did like that in this episode we got that, hey, House Vizsla, we're fighting against another house, and we can't really spare a lot of people. And it was cool that Sabine, and it was kind of weird to me. I was like, because Sabine was talking to Ezra, and then it seems like her mom is sitting on their throne, which is kind of weird because isn't Sabine the one with the dark saber? I feel like she should be the one sitting on the throne, but maybe she put her mom on the throne. I don't know, but the last time we saw her in the Mandalorians, it kind of seemed like she was the leader of Clan Vizsla, and just it was a little bit, it threw me off a little bit seeing her mom on the throne rather than her. So I feel like I have to talk about the Bendu here. I did like that he was totally like, I am the one in the middle. I am not the light and I am not the dark. I'm not going to choose sides here. And that's just how it's going to go. Kanan Jarrus Jedi Knight. I do like that every time he says Kanan, he has to say Kanan Jarrus Jedi Knight. He's like, yeah, make sure you got all of them names right. And all of the titles right. It was very cool. It's very kind of funny to me to hear him say it every single time. The Bendu, yes, it's cool that he's the one in the middle. He's awesome. He's apparently an ancient being. Okay, he's an ancient being. I feel like we should have an episode around the Bendu and like, what is the Bendu? And I'm not talking about the one in the middle, because like even Kanan is like, yeah, I know you're the one in the middle. You say that all the time. I feel like we should maybe, hopefully next season, hopefully we get something with the Bendu where Kanan figures out. I don't need, a full season to figure out or to tell us what the Bendu is and what he's, where he came from. You don't need that. You need like one episode where Kanan, Ezra, and the Bendu just sit down together and like, hey, Bendu, here's some, space tea. Let's talk about your past. Boom. I think people would enjoy that. Bendu has some funky powers, man. Some funky powers. When he does his whole tornado thing, I was like, can he fly? Because like when he's talking to Kanan and he gets kind of mad. He gets ticked off. And like you see like the dust and the rocks like under him, you see them come into frame and then they just start kind of spinning. And I was like, I was very much reminded of Superman in Man of Steel, how when he first is like learning how to fly, he like puts his hand on the ground and then you see like the dust and everything start flying up in the dirt and the rocks. They like come up, they float off the ground. And I was like, is the Bendu gonna fly right here? Because he does not have wings. He does not have wings. So, and then when it like turned into like a mini tornado with lightning going through it, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool because he's got himself, he's got himself he's a little bit of the light with the whole moving the rocks thing, and then he's got some dark side in there with the lightning. I was like, sweet, one in the middle, uses some of each, if not a lot of both sides of the spectrum of the Force. But he has storm powers. He has storm powers. I get that he's an ancient being and he has a lot of time to figure out the whole Force thing, but he made a storm happen. I'm still on the fence about this, because on the one hand I'm like, dude, yeah, you're ancient, you got a lot of experience using the Force. Okay, go ahead, use it. Do your storm thing. On the other hand, I'm like, yeah, okay, so what? So I was afraid for a lot of these 2 episodes, and I know that fear leads the path to the dark side and all that stuff. Yeah, I know that, but hear me out. I was afraid because I thought there were multiple times where it looked like Thrawn was in the hot seat, like he was on the path to death a few times. When that admiral started, pushing his ship towards Thrawn, I was like, please don't go out, with the kamikaze, just please don't. And then when the Bendu like started having his lightning shower, I was like, okay, if Thrawn gets killed by a lightning bolt, I'm gonna be kind of mad because that character's too good to have taken out by some parallax storm. And I was glad that it did not happen. There were multiple times, like I said, where Thrawn could have been toast, and I was very glad that it didn't happen because we got another season with these characters, and Thrawn has to be who Thrawn is. He can't be for one season a throwaway villain because he's not a throwaway villain in the Star Wars Legends. He's just not. He's too good for that. So I was glad that he did not die. Well, there you go. That's my review of Star Wars Rebels Season 3, the season finale. But I want to know what you think about this season finale and these 2 episodes. And yeah, so I need you to go into the comment section down below and tell me what you thought of the season finale and of the season so far. How do you think that this wrapped this season up very well? Do you think that we could have had something better? Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Every Sunday I put up a new Star Wars video. Next week will probably be something about a book or whatnot. But yeah, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one and reviews of movies, including classic movies, current movies, trailer reactions, and obviously talking Star Wars. And thank you for watching this video.